The oak tree, while prophets stood beside it. Health, scripture, and metaphysical meaning. All throughout scripture, and even in the hidden books, the oak tree keeps showing up, not as decoration, not as scenery, but as a location of revelation, covenant, judgment, and prophetic encounter. And today, I want to show you why the oak tree mattered to the prophets, why it mattered to the patriarchs, and why it still matters for the remnant today. The oak tree in scripture, a prophetic pattern. Let's start with the biblical pattern. Abraham receives revelation at the oaks of Mamre. Jacob buries foreign gods under an oak. Joshua sets up a covenant witness under an oak. Deborah judges Israel under a tree that carried her name. Kings are judged under oaks. And in the Apocrypha, Esdras receives visions near trees and water. The same prophetic environment. The oak is not random. It is a meeting place, a witness tree, a prophetic environment where clarity comes and identity is restored. The oak's natural benefits. What the ancients already knew. Now let's talk about the natural side. The part of scripture assumes you already understand. The oak tree is a healing tree. Its bark is a natural astringent. It tightens tissue, reduces inflammation, and was used to cleanse wounds. Its charcoal filters water and absorbs impurities. Its acorns, once processed, become a survival food rich in nutrients. So when ancient people gathered near the oaks, they weren't just near a tree. They were near a source of strength, healing, and provision. The land itself was teaching them. The metaphysical meaning. Why prophets stood near oaks. Now let's go deeper. The metaphysical meaning. Isaiah 61 calls God's people oaks of righteousness. Why? Because the oak stands firm. It roots deep. It survives storms. It outlives generations. It becomes a witness to history. When prophets stood near oaks, they were standing in a place of clarity, stability, identity, and covenant memory. The oak is a tree that holds history. It remembers, it stands, it witnesses, and prophets were drawn to places where the land itself testified. Esdras and the prophetic environment. In the Apocrypha, Esdras received visions near trees and waters. That is not accidental. Prophet was always positioned in environments where the noise of the world was gone and the clarity of God could be heard. The oak represents that clarity. It represents separation. It represents the place where revelation breaks through. Why this matters for the remnant today. So why am I teaching this? Because the remnant needs to understand the land again. You need to understand why scripture uses trees as metaphors. You need to understand why God calls you an oak. You need to understand why prophets stood near them. The oak teaches you, stand firm, root deep, hold your identity, outlast the storm, be a witness, be a place where revelation can rest. So in closing, the oak tree is not just a tree. It is a pattern, a symbol, a prophetic environment, a place where God meets his people, and a reminder of the strength he expects from his remnant. You are called to be an oak of righteousness, rooted, unshaken, and standing as a witness in your generation.